Swimmers for the 50 freestyle to the marshalling area, please. All swimmers for 50 freestyle to the marshalling area, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please show your appreciation to all of the officials on poolside who have given up their time to ensure this session can run. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together for the promoter, Mrs. Karen Huckle, the principal referee, Mrs. Sheila McKenzie, and meet director, Mr. Brian Thompson. And we are joined in this session by Swim England Hertfordshire President Brian Thompson. Your announcer and commentator for this session is Mr. Grant Chivers.
Welcome everybody then to session 8 of the championship, the last session of this weekend. First event this afternoon, the 50-metre freestyle for the men. So once we have some swimmers on poolside, we'll start with that. So marshals, if we can have the first heat, that would be helpful. Welcome to all those watching online, whether live or on catch-up. So 4 events this afternoon. 50 freestyle for the men, 100 IM for the women, 200 fly for the men, 50 fly for the women, and then there'll be finals for each of those at the end of the heats. Event 451, the men's 53, heat 1, referee. So our first event underway this afternoon, the 50 free. Little time to say who's where as we go through this. Atwell in 1, Bradley Jones 2, Yao 4. Sorry, Atwell 2, Bradley Jones 3, Yao 4, Podry 5 and Hallam in lane 6. That's lane 3. Edward Bradley Jones of Hoddesdon just in the lead. Vying with the Hatfield swimmer, Ching Yao. Between those two, Watford look like they've just taken this one. But it was Bradley Jones, 35-13. The Hoddesdon swimmer takes the win. Heat 2, referee. Second heat underway, entry times 34 out of 36. All these heats will be pretty close, and this one's pretty much in a line. Little choose between them. Slight advantage to Nell of Tring in lane 1. Into turn though, it's Tramontonto Wells of Hertford in 4. Coming back off the wall, moving up into the lead now, lane 6. Sims of Hertford. Sims just has the advantage, just a few strokes left to go. Sims takes the win. 34-30, second place goes to Tramontonto Wells, 34-50. Third place to Brewster, 34-64. Heat 3, referee. Lane 2 going out well for Royston. Harry Arnold Pepper swimming in the S9 category. Underneath the flags, little to choose between them. Where's the advantage? It's lane 3. Jacob Chen of Watford comes back off the wall. It's the two Watford swimmers. Chen in 3, Irvine in 6. In 5 rather, with the advantage. Little to choose between them. Slight advantage, I think, to Chen. The last couple of strokes. Chen takes the win, 32-44. Irvine second, 32-56. And Joseph Dill third, 33-35. Heat 4, referee. Fastest time, Mordenti in 4, 30.53 on entry. Can he go into the 30-second mark? He's taking it out in the lead. Lane 4, that's a Mordenti Potter's Bar. Up early at the transition, but still in the lead. Dark blue black hat with white PB. He has the advantage. Mordenti ahead of Zaranov of Hitchin. Mordenti takes the win. It's close for second place. Just goes to Zaranov. And third place, Califas. The winning time, 30.00. Heat 5, referee. pretty much in a line in the pool at the moment. Lane 8, Brewster. Harpenden, slight advantage as they go into the turn. Brewster turns first. Next to him was Rogers in lane 7 in second place. As they come back off the wall, though, it's lane 4 now. Lau of Costa just moving into lead. Brewster in the far end of the pool, and this end Burrier as well. And it's the two end lanes, but it's lane 1. Gabriel Burrier takes the win, 29.51. Brewster was third, 29.78. Perry second, 29.62. Heat 6, referee. McDonald Williams of Bishop Stortford in lane 4 with the early lead. As they come up towards the turn, he's got a metres or so advantage. He turns first. Trigwell in lane 5. Watford in second place. It's tight for third as McDonald Williams half a body length ahead. It's the biggest lead we've had so far in the heats. He takes the win, 27.59. Trigwell second, 28.28. Third place goes to Griddle, 28.50. Heat 7, referee. Lane 1 up into the swim pretty early, had the early advantage for Bishop Stortford. Coming up to the turn, it's a Cheshunt swimmer in first or second place, and Ingram of Costa in lane 3 in the lead, coming back down, half a length to go. The closest competitor to him, William Harris of Watford in lane 7. It's a Watford swimmer just going to take the win. He's a stroke or so ahead of the rest of them. Looks at the scoreboard after he finishes. 27.58 for Harris. Ingram second, 28.13. Third, Hosier, 28.27. Heat 8, referee. Cornwell of Potter's Bar, the fastest entrant in lane 4, 26.53, and he's in the lead at the moment. They come up underneath the flags. Cornwell turns fast. Gibson of Watford in lane 7 in second place. Hatfield swimmer Williams coming back in lane 3, but it's Cornwell still has the advantage. Cornwell versus Williams. The last few strokes, Williams might sneak this. It's going to be on the touch. And Cornwell takes the win, 26.55. Williams second, 26.80. Third place goes to Baskerville, 27.03. Heat 9, referee. Daniel Chada, just in the lead, lane 4, comes up the turn. Charder turns first, Lydiard in second place. Coming back down towards the start end, Charder just beginning to extend his lead. Lydiard in second place, Daniel Belsey in third for Hatfield. Charder extending his lead nicely there, 24.80 the winning time. Second place went to Lydiard, 26.03. Daniel Belsey third, 26.24. Into our last three heats. Cyclically seeded, the fastest 24 swimmers sweat across the three heats. Heat 10, referee. (24.20), Matt Please, the fastest entrant in lane 4. He's just marginally ahead of the rest of the field, not too much to choose between them. Perhaps a metre or so as he goes into turn. Up out of the transition phase, maintains his lead. Davison closest to him, to his right. Mapley though for Costa, last couple of strokes, takes the win, 25.12. Second place Ben Davidson and third place Zoe Stacey. Can we have the women's 100 IM swimmers to the marshalling area, please? So 25.12, the fastest. The winning heat 10 time, 24.80 the heat 9 time. We now commence heat 11, referee. Ashley Coombs in lane 4, fastest entrant, and the lane 4s are doing well here. 23.70, swimming for Bushy, goes into the turn. He's got half a body length ahead of the rest of the field, comes out of the transition phase, extend that lead slightly. Atwell and Moore, the two swimmers closest to him, but Coombs a long way ahead of everybody else, almost clear water between him and the finish, finishes nicely. 24.15, the winning time. Second place, Atwell, 25.38. Third, Moore, 25.59. Heat 12, referee. Nice dive there for lane 5. Nice underwater phase for lane 4. Callum Cox in 4. Cox versus Cornwell. Bishop Stortford versus Potters Bar, and it's Cornwell rather with a slight advantage. Another good underwater phase. Those two swimmers side by side, probably both going to get into the final. Cornwell has a slight advantage at the finish. 24.66 for Cornwell. Cox 24.69. Aitken Toe 25.37 in third. So that completes the 53 heats. Final will be a bit later on. We slow the pace slightly to the women's 100 metre individual medley. Swum over 15 heats, so quite a popular event this. Just the three swimmers in the first heat. Potters Bar, Bushy and Hoddesdon supplying those swimmers. Event 452, Heat 1, referee. Savannah Smith of Potters Bar in lane 3. Dorothy Ward of Bushy in lane 4. Isabel Bradley Smith of Hoddesdon in lane 5. All 11 years old. Into the 100 individual medley. Fly back breast front crawl, and they're just beginning the breaststroke leg. Dorothy Ward of Bushy with a black hat in the middle of the pool in the lead. Hoddesdon's Bradley Smith with the red hat just beside her in lane 5. Pretty much stroke for stroke now as they come underneath the flags. Little to choose between them. It's Bradley Smith touches first, but really nothing in it. Coming off the wall though, it's Ward with the better transition to breaststroke. And they're halfway down the first length of breaststroke. Ward just moving away from Bradley Smith. They go underneath the flags at the turn end. Ward turns first, then Bradley Smith. Our third swimmer, Savannah Smith, turns now, and they move back towards the finish. Ward in the lead, Bradley Smith in second place. Ward entered on a 1:37, going to be a long way underneath that. Finishes on a 1:29.82. Bradley Smith entered on 1:38, and she finished on 1:31.58. And then Savannah Smith comes in to finish, 1:37.70. Heat 2, referee. Esme Hui of Watford in 2, Isabel Cowie of Watford in 3, Faye Leggett of Ware in 4, Isla Callie of Watford in 5, Sophie Tom of Ware in 6, and Angela Pavana of Potters Bar in lane 7. They commence the backstroke. Lane 4 with the advantage, Faye Leggett of Ware. Just beside her, Isabel Cowie of Watford. Just moving up towards the lead as they come under the flags. Towards the end of the breaststroke part of the medley. Bit of a drift in there from Cowie. Leggett touches first, just 3/10 ahead. Into the breaststroke, nothing much to choose between Leggett and Cowie in 3 and Leggett in lane 4. Third place, pretty tight between the Watford swimmers. But third place, hard to tell. Let's look at first and second. Cowie and Leggett still side by side. And it is Esme Wee in third place rather for Watford. Meanwhile, back at the front, Isabel Cowie of Watford just beginning to move away from Leggett as they finish the race. Cowie takes a win, 1:26.40. Leggett second, 1:27.11. And third place, Isla Cayley, 1:32.13. Heat 3, referee. Lois Fields of Bishop's Stortford in 1, Gemma McEwen of Berkhamsted in 2, Mia Bell Bradley of Tring in 3, Neve Ives of Hatfield in 4, Charlotte Stewart of Costa in 5, Natalie Herbst of Costa in 6, Penelope Reid of Berkhamsted in 7, and Sophie Peterson of Stevenage in lane 8. McEwen and Bradley, lanes 2 and 3, vying for the lead. Just moving up into lead now is Bradley. Bradley turns first from back to fly. Back to breast, rather. McEwen has the lead. Quick sneaky look to each side to see where she is. And she'll notice that Hatfield's Ives is beginning to catch her up. Ives in the lead. Bradley in second place at the third turn. 1 length to go. It's tight between Stewart and Herbst for third and fourth. Bradley and Ives vying for the lead. Slight advantage to Miabel Bradley. She takes the win. 121.77. Neve Ives second, 122.39. Third to Charlotte Stewart, 124.69. Heat 4, referee. Bronwyn Fuller of Hatfield in 1. Evelyn Bullen of Chest in 2. Jessica Hutchins of Ware in 3. Mimi Clinch of Costa in 4. Jasmine Scott of Costa in 5. Jasmine Davis of Watford in 6. Megan Randall of Royston in 6. And Olivia Croft of Chestnut in lane 8. Mimi Clinch of Costa just ahead of Jasmine Scott, also of Costa, in the centre of the pool. Clinch comes up. She finishes after the first 2 lengths. Clinch in the lead, Scott second. Coming off the turn, Clinch has the advantage into the breaststroke. Coming back on the leaders is Bronwyn Fuller. Hatfield in lane 1, closest to the camera as we look now. Clinch in the lead. Scott second place. And now in third place it is Davis of Watford. So Davis vying for the lead here as they come back down with half a length to go. Clinch and Davis, lanes 6 and 4. The Watford swimmer, Jasmine Davis, just moving into the lead. It's tight, but she has a slight advantage. Last stroke done. Clinch, Davis rather, takes the win, 121.74. Clinch second, 121.90. Scott third, 121.93. Heat 5, referee. Imogen Bygrave of Royston in 1, Paige Brewster of Harpenden in 2, Macy Sill of Ware in 3, Liliana Sapala of Hoddesdon in 4, Sienna Candola of Bushy in 5, Maya Robu of Cheshunt in 6, Evie Butterworth of Tring in 7, and Valentina Tiniarello of Potters Bar in lane 8. Liliana Sapala of Hoddesdon has the lead. Has just been overhauled by Paige Brewster of, not Paige Brewster, rather Evie Butterworth of Tring in 7. Butterworth just drifting in slightly, but she turns first, 36.39. Into the breaststroke. Butterworth has the advantage. Second place, Sapala in lane 4, tight for third. Coming up towards the flags, underneath the flags. Butterworth still in the lead. Sapala in second place. And third place is lane 6 at the moment, Mayu Robu. So Sapala beginning to catch Butterworth, overhauled her. Sapala, the early leader, takes the win, 1:19.18. Butterworth second, 1:20.46. Third place goes to Imogen Bygrave, 1:21.71. Heat 6, referee. Mia Nelson of Cheshunt in 1, Anna Sapietskaya of Costa in 2, Molly Greatbatch of Bishop Stortford in 3, Chiara Lloyd of Hatfield in 4, Isla Black of Costa in 5, Alexandra Giorgio of Costa in 6, Amelia Costa of Hatfield in 7, and Daisy Jubb of Costa in lane 8. Ida Black of Costa with a slight advantage. Very close to Ismia Nelson of Cheshunt. There's been those two at the turn. Black turns first, Nelson second at the halfway point. Into the breaststroke. Cheshunt, Mia Nelson, lane 1 versus Isla Black of Costa in lane 5. It's the Costa swimmer has the advantage as Nelson just comes back a little bit. Black in the lead. Second place is Molly Greatbatch with Nelson in third. Isla Black into the 1:21.67, a long way ahead of the rest of the field. They're going to be a long way under her entry time. 1:16.95 her time. Greatbatch second, 1:18.68. Nelson third, 1:19.68. A disqualification, event 452, heat 4. Lane 6, disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 7, referee. Alessandro Pardi of Costa in 1, Tramontano Wells of Hertford in 2, Chloe Alton of Potters Bar in 4, Molly Bartop of Cheshunt in 5, Sophie Williams of Royston in 6, Phoebe Griffiths of Bushy in 7, and Liliana Shawinska of Potters Bar in lane 8. Out from the underwater phase, it's lane 4 with the advantage. Chloe Alton, lane 2, Tramontano Wells not too far behind. They come underneath the flags. It's pretty tight for the first few positions. Alton and Bartop vying for the lead. Molly Bartop turns first, Alton second, Tramontano Wells in third. Into the breaststroke. Tramontano Wells looking good. Molly Bartop in the lead though as they go underneath the flags up towards the final turn. Bartop turns first, Tramontano Wells second, and third place is Sophie Williams in lane 6. Molly Bartop moving away from the rest of the field now for Cheshunt. Takes the win, 1:16.05. Second place goes to Sophie Williams, 1:18.47. Third place, Tramontano Wells, 1:18.80. Heat 8, referee. Celia Randall of Watford in 1, Poppy Saunders of Hoddesdon in 2, Tori Hunt of Stevenage in 3, Ellie Sapala of Hoddesdon in 4, Rose Fawcett of Hitchin in 5, Susanna Reid of Costa in 6, Zoe Opio of Bishop Stortford in 7, and Olivia Gibbons of Ware in lane 8. And it's pretty tight. Lane 3 with a slight advantage, Tori Hunt, Stevenage. Black-hatted swimmer at the other end of the pool, furthest away from the camera, Olivia Gibbons of Ware in second place. Tori Hunt turns first. Reid in second place, and into third. It's pretty tight for third. A number of swimmers vie for third. Beginning to compress up a little bit on the breaststroke here. The leader is still, or is in lane 3. So lane 3 turns first. Tori Hunt, Stevenage, led from the outset. Being pushed now by some of the other swimmers, in particular Poppy Saunders of Hoddesdon. Hunt versus Saunders. It's tight, very tight, and the win goes to Saunders, 1:17.98. Hunt, 1:18.08 in second. Third place, Susanna Reid, 1:18.49. Heat 9, referee. Axinia Ivanova of Potters Bar in 1, Paige Goldhawk of Hoddesdon in 2, Liberty Whittaker of Watford in 3, Gemma Robertson of Stevenage in 4, B. Grant of Royston in 5, Perla Calculate of Verulam in 6, Ruby May Keoborough of Watford in 7, and Holly Cuthbert of Stevenage in lane 8. Lane 5, B. Grant, Royston in the lead, somewhat ahead of the rest of the field as she comes up towards the end of her backstroke leg. Almost clear blue water between her and the rest of the field. The closest swimmer to her, Liberty Whittaker in lane 3. Whittaker swimming for Watford into the breaststroke. B. Grant still in the lead, holding the advantage. Maybe it's going down a little bit, but not a huge amount. Others are pressing up, vying for second place. Grant turns first. And Paige Goldhawk turning second in lane 2 as all the swimmers make their way back down towards the start end. B Grant, though, long way ahead of the rest of the field. Last stroke, hits the pad, finishes on a 1:16.13. Second place is a 1:19.28 for Gemma Robertson. Third place, Perla Karkanate, 1:19.48. A disqualification, event 452, heat 8, lane 8, disqualified for a technical infraction. Heat 10, referee. Everson in 1, Peterson 2, Sawinska 3, Mullings 4, Billingham 5, Seymour 6, Jovicius in 7 and Costa in lane 8. And it's pretty tight at the lead here. Cheshunt, Isabel Mullings just in the lead. The other end of full, Jovicius and Costa vying for second and third as Mullings turns first. 33.73, Costa in second, 34.43. Into the breaststroke. Mullings still in the lead for Cheshunt. Closest to her is Nell Costa, Berkhamsted at the other end, lane 8. So Mullings first, Summer Everson and Costa at lanes 1 and 8, vying for second and third into the final half length of sprint. Mullings still in the lead. Molly Seymour of Hoddesdon beginning to catch her up in lane 6, lane 1 not far behind. Mullings takes the win though, 1:16.19, Seymour second, 1:16.35, Summer Everson third, 1:16.46. Heat 11, referee. Duncan in 1, Worley in 2, Green in 3, Glynn in 4, Whitman in 5, Carpenter in 6, Gorman in 7 and Hadfield in lane 8. Coming towards the end of the backstroke. Sophie Green of Hatfield in the lead. Quite a long way in the lead. Green turns on 39.50. The closest to her, Bartha Duncan, 35.77. And a couple of tenths behind her, Eva Glynn, on a 35.9. Into the breaststroke. Green still has the advantage. Glynn not far behind her. The two Hatfield swimmers. And lane 1 having a good good breaststroke leg there. Martha Duncan. And Duncan moving up into the lead, just overtaking Green. So Duncan versus Green. Green back in the lead now, the last couple of strokes. It goes to Sophie Green, 1:15.61. Duncan second, 1:16.14. And third, Rachel Carpenter, 1:16.83. Heat 12, referee. Laser Kate in 1, Darcy 2, Matthews 3, Stelmach 4, Dalton 5, Whittaker 6, Beaverstock 7 and Savage in lane 8. Lane 5 turning first, Katrina Dalton for Tring. Out of the underwater phase, she's still in the lead, just. Savage, Beaverstock, lane 7 and 8, and Laser Kate in lane 1, vying for the lead also. Slight, but ever such slight advantage to Dalton as she turns, 35.52, only 6/100s ahead of Savage. Into the breaststroke leg. Dalton still has the lead, looking strong on the breaststroke. Just moving away slightly from the rest of the field. Dalton turns first. Then it's Whittaker and Laser Kate, second and third. Back towards home, just over or under half a length now for Dalton to go. She comes underneath the flags. Entered 1:15.47, going to be a long way underneath that. She finished on 1:13.84. Second place goes to Beaverstock, 1:14.92, and third to Stelmach, 1:16.08. Heat 13, referee. Reed in 1, Thompson 2, Riley 3, Neal 4, Hartley 5, Nerney 6, Cross 7, and Mukdad in lane 8. So into our cyclically seeded heats now. And it's a slight advantage to lane 6 at the moment. Nerney just ahead of Evie Thompson. Oh, that's changed around a little bit. As I was saying it, Nerney though still has the advantage. Comes in, turns first. 32.38, then Reed and Riley in the next couple of positions. Alexander Nerney in the lead. Olivia Riley of Hatfield in second place. It's all compressing up a little bit on the butterfly, on the breaststroke rather. Caitlin Hartley in the lead at the turn there. Hartley in 5 in the lead. Nerney in second place. Neal in third. Coming down towards the finish. Caitlin Hartley then took the lead during the fly, takes the win. 109.75. Nerney second, 110.10. Neal third, 110.38. Heat 14, referee. Mills 1, Longman in 2, Jeffrey 3, Borum 4, Gore 5, Hollis 6, Harrison Mirror in 7 and O'Meara in lane 8. No swimmer in lane 2 though. Should have been Longman. In the lead, it is in lane 4, Amy Borum, Watford with the red hat. Just ahead of Katie Jeffrey of Hatfield in lane 3. Those two a little clear of the rest of the field. Borum turns first, Jeffrey in second place, Hollis in third. Breaststroke leg underway. Borum still in the lead. Jeffrey just beside her, and Lauren Gore for Bishop Stortford in lane 5. Those are the top 3. One length front crawl, and Amy Borum moves away from the rest of the field for Watford. Good, strong 20, 25 front crawl there for Borum, 107.92. Second place just goes to Lauren Gore, 111.22. Jeffrey third, 111.40. And we have all swimmers for the 50 fly to the marshalling area, please. All swimmers for the 50 fly to the marshalling area, please. Heat 15, referee. Dalton in 1, Whitaker 2, Hooper 3, Williams 4, Curry 5, Boswell 6, Great Batch 7 and Crowley in lane 8. Charlotte Williams of Hatfield in lane 4. The fastest entrant overall, her entry time 104.41, and she's half a metre or so ahead of Erin Curry, also swimming for Hatfield in lane 5. And then it's closer for 3 and third place at the moment. It's Kate Hooper. Williams turns first, 30.53. Into breaststroke, Williams with almost a body length clear of everybody else. Second place, Erin Curry. Williams moving away from the rest of the field. A good strong breaststroke like this here for Charlotte Williams. 2 metres, 2.5 metres advantage. Then Curry turns and then Hooper. 1, 2 and 3, Hatfield, Berkhamsted. Charlotte Williams are a long way ahead of the rest of the field. Swimming to get into the final, which I imagine she's going to do comfortably. She finishes on a time of 106.49. Second place, Curry, 109.94. Hooper third, 110.22. So that completes the women's 100 IM. We move on to event 453, the men's 200 metre fly. So we swum over 4 heats. Heat 1, referee. Four lengths butterfly then. 4 heats. This is heat 1. Charles Hallam of Harpenden in lane 1. Montgomery Brewster of Watford in lane... Sorry, Charles is in lane 3. Montgomery Brewster of Watford in lane 4. Leo Sims of Hertford in lane 5. Brewster, 11 years old. The other 2 swimmers, 10 years old. All entered on a similar time, 3:41 for Brewster, 3:43 for Sims, 3:59 for Hallam. Coming up towards the 50 metre mark, and there's not much to choose between them. Slight advantage to Brewster of Watford. That's just moving round to be Sims of Hertford. They turn, Sims in the lead, Brewster second, Hallam third. Into the second 50. Coming to the 75 metre mark, turning at the turn end. Sims in the lead, good advantage she has at the moment. Hallam in second place, Brewster in third. Leo Sims moving away from the rest of the field. Brewster and Hallam having a good race for second and third. Slight advantage to Hallam. Brewster a little bit further back. Sims turns 1:36.93. Entered on 3:43. So he's going to be underneath that. I would think, at least. Sims in the lead. Hallam in second place. Brewster in third. Those two not really changed around much. Sims now has 8 metres advantage over the rest of the field. Hallam second, Brewster third. Still very close together, those two swimmers. Sims are rather swimming well. At the 150 metre mark, he pushes off the pads. 50 metres to go, 2:31.90. Hallam in second, 2:43.78. Brewster third, 2:44.00. So just 0.22 between them as Sims is disappearing up towards the turn end. Last stroke, turns, kicks off the pad, up pretty quickly into the stroke, and he's coming down towards the finish for the final time. Half a length left for him to go. Hallam moved away from Brewster. There's a good few metres between them now as Sims comes underneath the flags. Last stroke. Hits the pads, 3:27.57 against his 3:43 entry time. The next two swimmers have had a good race all the way through, but it goes to Hallam 3:39.68, Brewster 3:40.30 for third. Heat 2, referee. Danny Foreman of Potters Bar in lane 2, George Hooper of Costa in lane 3, Kieran Burkett of Costa in lane 4, Jake Lloyd of Bishop Stortford in lane 5, Daniel Williams of Hatfield in 6, and Kabir Patel of Potters Bar in lane 7. So into the last three heats, cyclically seeded now. Kieran Burkett, third fastest entrant overall, fastest entrant in this heat in lane 4, 2:21.33, and he's in the lead. Turns on a 30.07 at the 50 metre mark. Not far behind him, though, is Bishop Stortford Jake Lloyd. Burkett to the lead. Lloyd in second place. Hooper and Williams vying for third and fourth. Moving towards the 100 metre mark. Burkett turns first, 1:04.74. Lloyd next, 1:06.20. Hooper third, 1:09.62. Burkett just in the lead, but Lloyd not far behind him. 2:21 against a 2:27 on entry time. So that's 6 seconds, but it's certainly not 6 seconds at the moment. It's about a second, second and a half. Burkett, 18-year-old from Costa in lane 4 with a blue hat, coming up to the start end. 50 metres to go, 1:40.87. Jake Lloyd, 1:42.38, about 1.5 seconds behind him. Lloyd, 28-year-old from Bishop Stortford. Third place is Hooper. Hooper, a 16-year-old from Costa. So spread of ages, spread of clubs in 1, 2 and 3. Burkett turns, 1 length to go. Lloyd turns just a little bit behind him. And then at the turn end, it's no, it's not Williams, it's Hooper turning. Back at the sharp end of the race, Burkett finishes first. 2:17.75. Second place Lloyd, 2:20.19. And third place swimmer just coming in. It's quite tight for third, but it goes to George Hooper. His time 2:31.10. Our last two swimmers coming in then, it's Danny Foreman finishing, and then Kabir Patel. I think Foreman was just ahead of Patel, but I'm not positive, but the time's not come up yet, on my screen at least. So the backup time being used for lane 2. Heat 3, referee. Irvine in lane 1, Howard in lane 2, Adams in lane 3, Bozinu in 4, Ran in 5, Rubishek Smith in lane 6, McDonald in 7, and Hugo Randall in lane 8. Our penultimate heat of this 200-metre fly set of heats. Kaylin Bozinu of Watford just turns first, 30.60, much the same time as the winner turned after 50 metres in the previous heat. Rosanu in the lead for Watford. And then we've got Archie Ran, and then we have Kay Adams. Watford in the lead, then Ware, and then Potter's Bar. A little bit of gap between second and third. Bozinu turns first, 106.16. Archie Ran then on a 102nd, 108.02. Adams third, 110.43. Those are the top three. A little bit of spread across the field. Almost a length, over a length's difference between them, as the leader is at the turn end. Rosinu from Ran, whereas our 8th place swimmer, Philippi Irvine, youngest swimmer, or nearly the youngest swimmer, lane 1, turns for Watford at the 100-metre mark. Back at the sharp end, Rosinu in the lead, turns a little bit behind him, Ran, 143.02 against 144.19, just under a length and a half for them to go. Third place swimmer is Kay Adams of Potter's Bar. Closing up a little bit at the front there. Ran just closed up to Bozinu into the wall, coming off the wall. There's little to choose between them. Bozinu versus Ran. Probably, they're in different age groups, so they'll be in different finals, or they might be both in the open final. Either way, Bozinu just sprints that last half length, takes the win, 2:20.50. Ran in second place, 2:21.82. Third place goes to Adams, his time at 2:29.99. Next swimmer to come in is over at the far end of the pool, Randall. Then at the opposite end of the pool, Howard. Then I think it must be our 7th place swimmer comes in. In at lane 7, Fraser McDonald for Hatfield. He's our 6th place swimmer. I've 2 more to go. I've missed one. McDonald 2:47.57. So that leaves us with Philippi Irvine in 1 and Hugo Randall in 8 to finish. Irvine coming in last stroke or 2. He finishes his time of 3:15.10. So that's underneath his entry time by 5 seconds exactly. Our final swimmer, Hugo Randall for Costa, 12 years old, youngest swimmer in this heat. Last stroke or 2 to go. There we go. 3:37.86 to complete heat 3. Heat 4, referee. Max Lesnar of Potters Bar in lane 1, Toby Martin of Harpenden in 2, Billy Seal of Ware in 3, Jack Barnard of Potters Bar in 4, Joshua Ellis of Hatfield in 5, George Taylor of Bishop Stortford in 6, Maxwell Hosier of Hoddesdon in 7, and Jesse Howard of Hoddesdon in lane 8. So the final heat of the 200 fly, and Jack Barnard, Potters Bar. So Jack Barnard in the lead, just moving away from the rest of the field. Coming up the turn, he's 2/3 of a body length. Coming up to the 100-meter mark. Barnard still in the lead, turns on a 1:04.58. Joshua Ellis just moving up into the lead. Barnard still in second place. Coming up to the 150-meter mark. Ellis of Hatfield in the lead, turns. 2 lengths to go. Barnard in second place, the early leader, and Toby Martin in third. 1:44.29. Coming down towards the finish, and Ellis moving away from Barnard, looking fairly convincing now. Half a length to go. Ellis takes the win, 2:17.44. Barnard second, 2:19.91. Third place goes to Toby Martin of Harpenden on a 2:23.72. Then we've got Billy Seal, George Taylor. Our next swimmer to come in is in lane 7, Maxwell Hosier of Hoddesdon. He finishes 2:40.80. So our last 2 swimmers coming in is Lesnar of Potters Bar in lane 1. And then we've got the final swimmer is Jesse Howard of Hoddesdon in lane 8. Last couple of strokes, and that will complete this event. We're going to have a slight pause whilst we have a swim off for the 100-meter individual medley. So we had 2 swimmers with identical times, presumably positions 8 and 9. So they're going to swim off to see who makes the final. We're going to do that in a moment. So slight pause before we start the 50 fly. So our 2 swimmers for the swim-off will be Imogen Bygrave in lane 4, Amelia Costa in lane 5. We're just waiting to get one of those 2 swimmers to the pool. I think we've got Amelia Just waiting for Imogen. Looks like she's coming across from the marshalling area momentarily. So this will be the 100 IM. So a swim off to get into the final for that, or one of the finals. So we're just waiting for both swimmers. The swimmers behind the blocks are for the first heat of the 50 fly race. So here we are, our two swimmers, Imogen Bygrave and Amelia Costa. Swim off for the 100 metres individual medley. Referee. So our two swimmers underway. Lane 4, Imogen Bygrave. Swimming for Royston. Lane 5, Amelia Costa. Swimming for Hatfield. Identical times in the first time they swam, possibly in the same heat, and it's exceedingly close in this time as well. So the winner will get into the final and the loser won't. So a little bit of incentive. Amelia Costa, slight advantage on the backstroke, but usually it's the breaststroke that makes the difference in the IM as Amelia comes up. Bygrave just a little bit behind into the breaststroke. Costa turns first, 38.11 against a 38.72. So can Bygrave move back up towards the lead here? She looks slightly faster on the breaststroke here, underneath the flags. Costa has the advantage, must be what, 0.7 of a second. Costa in the lead, Bygrave in second place. It's one length. Half a length off front crawl. It looks fairly safe for Amelia Costa now as Bygrave just drifts back a little bit. It's a big ask to swim twice, quite so close, but Bygrave is second and Amelia Costa takes win for Hatfield. Thank you, swimmers. Clear the pool to sides, please. So, having got the swim off out of the way, so to speak, we move into our final set of heats for this session, which will be the women's 50 fly, 13 heats of that. Five swimmers in the first heat. So we're just resetting the computers after that swim off, and then we'll be into our 50 fly in the first heat. Bradley Smith for Hertfordshire in 1, Tom for Ware in 2, Carey of Watford in 4, so 2, 3 and 4, Peterson in 5 for Stevenage, and Hui of Watford in lane 6. Heat 1, referee. First fly event, or heat rather, underway. Bradley Smith, 2, Tom, 3, 4, Cowie, 5, Peterson, and 6, Wee. 42 points out of 44 point. The entry times here, little to choose between them as they go into that first turn. And it's lane 4 with a slight advantage. Isabel Cowie of Watford. She comes up in the lead. Almost in a line, the swimmers, not quite, but not far off. Cowie, though, of Watford just to the lead. Then it's the Stevenage swimmer Peterson in second place. Last few strokes. Watford's Cowie takes the win. 40.48. Second place Tom, 41.04. Peterson third, 41.28. Heat 2, referee. Crompton in 1, Ord 2, Hunt 3, Ives 4, Sonny 5, Douglas 6, Leggett 7, and Pravana in lane 8. All of these are going to be tight, but it's lane 6. Charlotte Douglas of Costa with a slight advantage with the blue hat. Coming back down towards the start end though. Jasmine Hunt of Stevenage with the dark blue hat. And then the bushy swimmer Rachel Ord in 2. They're vying for first, second and third. Underneath the flag, slight advantage to Hunt. Hunt from Ord. Hunt takes the win, 38.33. Second place goes to Douglas, 38.91. Third to Ord, 39.15. Heat 3, referee. Hickford in 1, Stewart 2, Fields 3, Randall 4, Bradley 5, Reed 6, Holland 7 and Nelson in lane 8. Very, very tight indeed. It's the outside lanes, but lane 1 just turning first. Hickford of Hertford in the silvery grey hat. And then over in lane 5, we have the Tring swimmer Bradley moving up into the lead. Bradley versus Hickford, and it's pretty tight, but just goes to Bradley, 36.20, 36.52, Hickford in second place. Third place, Neve Holland, 37.37. Heat 4, referee. Seville in 1, Tramontano Wells in 2, Rind in 3, Adoy in 4, Goldhawk in 5, Pereira in 6, that's Cassandra, Azzopardi in 7, and Seal in lane 8. Lane 4, slight advantage, Adoy of Hatfield, being pushed now by Rind of Hertford in lane 3. Adoy versus Rind, it's pretty tight between them. It's very tight indeed. It just goes to Zara Rind in the lead, 46.61, takes the win. Mercy Adoy, 34.70 in second. Cassandra Pereira, third, 36.06. Heat 5, referee. Sapiskaya in 1, Peterson 2, Reed 3, Ivanova in 4, Iverson in 5, Lloyd 6, Malfoy 7, and Fuller in lane 8. Lane 5 turns first, just Summer Everson of Watford as he come back down towards his starter. Everson in the lead, Susanna Reid not too far behind, swimming for Costa with the blue hat in 3. But it's Summer Everson of Watford, red-hatted swimmer in lane 5. Takes the win, 34.31. Second place, Susanna Reid, 34.96. Third place goes to Aksinia Ivanova, 35.31. Heat 6, referee. Moore in 1, Candola 2, Robson 3, Scott 4, Reader 5, Cook 6, Opala 7, Tinarello in lane 8, and no swimmer in lane 1. Lane 4 in the lead, Jasmine Scott of Costa. Just beside her though, for Stevenage, Gemma Robertson. Gemma Robertson looking good. Over at the far end of the pool, Tinarello, lane 8 for Potters Bar. As they go underneath the flags, little to choose between them. There's 4 swimmers vying for the lead. With that final stroke, and it looked like, it went to lane 4. Jasmine Scott of Costa, 34.71. Reader second, 34.91. Third place went to Robertson, 35.06. Heat 7, referee. Kiabaro in 2, Kiabaro in 1, Opeo in 2, Jan Harvey in 3. Yi Chan 4, so Winsker 5, Hamilton 6, Williams 7, Elias in lane 8. Into the turn, lane 6, slight advantage, ever so slight. That's Georgina Hamilton of Costa as they come back down towards the last half length. Hamilton just in the lead, the closest to her. Elias of Hatfield in lane 8. Elias just drifting back. The Royston swimmer moving up to second place as Hamilton takes the win, 33.81. Williams of Royston in second, 3.445, and third place, Quan Yi Chang. 34.70 swimming for Bishop Stortford. Heat 8, referee. Yera in 1, Alton 2, Grant 3, Mills 4, Costa 5, Lassicate 6, Stelmack 7, Tapra in lane 8. Into the turn, lanes 4 and 5 turning at the same time. Walters, wrong heat, Green, Grant and Mills. And it's still tight between those. Slight advantage to B. Grant of Royston. Very tight indeed. There's 4 swimmers vying for the lead here. It's going to be on that final stroke who gets it right. And it just goes to April Mills, 33.32. Swimming for Hatfield. Second place, B. Grant, 33.38. And Costa, Nell Costa, that is 33.53 in third place. Heat 9, referee. Heat 9 underway. Savage 1, Mullings 2, Walters 3, Green 4, Pritchard 5, Muqdad 6, Feinson 7 and Sapala in lane 8. Lane 2, 3, 4 turning pretty much at the same time. Out of the underwater phase, it's lane 2. Isabel Mullings of Cheshunt. Mullings of Cheshunt then in the lead, closest to her. Pritchard of Hatfield in 5. Mullings versus Pritchard. It's going to be on that last stroke as it usually is. And it goes to Pritchard, 32.84. Walters in second, 32.87. And Mullings in the end in third, 3 100s behind, 32.90 her time. Can we have the finalists for the 53 and the IM to the marshalling area, please? The finalists for the 53 and the individual medley to the marshalling area, please. Thank you. Heat 10, referee. Beaverstock in 1, Boswell 2, Riley 3, Ingram 4, Whitten 5, Nell 6, Cross 7 and Gregory in lane 8. As they come up underneath the flags up towards the turn. It's lane 3, Olivia Riley, Hatfield, just ahead of Kira May Ingram of Costa. And it's lane 2 now, Summer Boswell of Hatfield. It's all over the pitch. Tia Gregory of Stevenage not far behind, but it is Boswell going to take the win, only just in the end. Boswell, 32.38. Beaverstock finishing fast on a 32.53. And third place, Olivia Riley, 32.66. Heat 11, referee. Ives in 1, Stanley 2, O'Toole 3, Nerney 4, Fuge 5, Crowley 6, Parker 7 and Clark in lane 8. Alexander Nerney turning just first beside a Verity Fuge, the two Hatfield swimmers in the centre of the pool with the purple hats, pinky purpley hats, and it's not much to choose between them, both 13 years old. Fuge having a better second, 25 takes the win, 30-32, Nerney second, 30-70, third place Florence Crowley, 31-50. Heat 12, referee. Lynn in 1, Whitaker 2, Burgess 3, Fields 4, Borum 5, Reed 6, White 7 and Longman in lane 8. Into the first turn, and it's Fields in 4, just ahead of Borum for Watford, Fields for Bishop Stortford. It's a Bishop Stortford field swimmer with a slight advantage over the Watford swimmer. Emma Fields rather, just comes in, takes the win. 29.62 her winning time. Heat 13, referee. Yuri Viscus in 1, no swimmer in 2, Curry 3, Williams 4, James 5, Thompson 6, Hopper in 7 and Hartley in lane 8. And it's lane 4, Charlotte Williams in for the turn first, out from the underwater phase, up first and in the lead. Charlotte Williams, the Hatfield swimmer, in second place, the Bishop Stortford swimmer, Neve James. And that's the order they finish in. Williams first, 29.57, James second, 30.26, Curry third, 30.69. So that completes the heats. We are going to move on to the finals of this session in a moment or two. So we'll just have a short pause, just checking the results. There may be another swim off for one of the finals, we're not sure. But when we are sure, unless the swim off happens first, we'll go straight into the men's 50-metre freestyle finals. So there's a final for the 10 and 11-year-old category, the 12-year-old category, the 13-year-old category, 14-year-old category, 15-year-old category, and then 16 and over. So that's what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finals in the 50 freestyle. Starting off the first one, fastest entrant, 34.30, George Sims, and taking us through to Ashley Coombs, the fastest entrant in the 16 and over, which is a 24.15, so that's 10 seconds quicker. So basically, give or take, from when you become 10 years old to about 18 years old, you get 10 seconds quicker over your 53, which is a second and a bit a year, which perhaps doesn't sound like a huge return for all the hard work, but there you go. So that'll be the finals in a while. Then we've got the women's 100 IM final. And then we've got another couple of finals after that once I get the start sheets. But those are the sheets I've got. As we're streaming onto YouTube, we can't have any music because YouTube don't like us streaming music over their platform. So I guess perhaps we've stopped streaming momentarily. Whilst we 3 men's finals. The 50 fly. .50 swim off, a referee. So swim off for the 50 fly. Angelica Lazzacate in 4 for Watford. Nell Costa for Berkhamsted in lane 5. Identical times in the earlier heats to get into the final. One of them will get into the final. And it's Nell Costa, rather, Berkhamsted with a slight advantage. They come out underneath the flag. She still has that advantage. It's about half her body length or so. Can Angelica come back on her down this final 7 or 8 metres? Looks unlikely. Nell Costa, Berkhamsted then, 2 or 3 strokes to go. All she needs to do is win. Margin is irrelevant, and win she does. 32.54. Angelica Lazzacate, 33.25. So Nell Costa will make the final. So thank you very much, swimmers. If you wish to clear the pool. So we move on to event 455 next. The well-trailed and expected and waited for 50-metre freestyle finals. So it's possible we may have another swim off. We're just checking that as well. And then eventually we will get to the 50 freestyle finals. Year-olds 50-meter freestyle final in lane 1 from Hatfield, Ching Yao. Lane 2 from Watford, Hugo Harley. Lane 3 from Tring, Jake Nell. Lane 4 from Hertford, George Sims. Lane 5 from Watford, Montgomery Brewster. Lane 6 from Hoddesdon, Theo Stacey. Lane 7 from Hoddesdon, Edward Bradley Jones. And in lane 8 from Costa, Riley Robson. Referee. '50 final underway then. George Sims, the fastest entrant, going out first. So it's pretty much all of them actually. Lane 6 with the slight advantage, Theo Stacey of Hoddesdon. Lots of red hats in this race, but it's the lane 2 in the end, turns first. Hugo Harley for Watford, who's got the stamina to hold the pace back down the last length. Harley, Watford still has the advantage, so moving up into the lead now. George Sims of Watford also. George Sims of Hertford rather. George Sims of Hertford takes the win, 33.64. Harley second, 34.28. Montgomery Brewster third, 34.78. If the swimmers in the pool can clear the pool as we introduce the swimmers for the next event. which is the 12-year-old final in lane 1 for Bishop Stortford, Benjamin Palmer. In lane 2 for Berkhamsted, Joseph Deal. Lane 3 for Watford, Jacob Chen. Lane 4 for Watford, Constantine Califas. Lane 5 for Costa, Chu Ki Cheng. Lane 6 for Hatfield, Perrin Ma. Lane 7 for Verulam, Thomas Fennick. And in lane 8 for Hertford, Rex Tramontano Wells. Referee. Twelve-year-olds underway, and it's lane 7 going out first. Thomas Fennick, Verulam, black hat, furthest away from the camera as they come into the turn. It's Fennick turning first. Not too much juice between the rest of the field. The closest to him is Perrin Ma of Hatfield in lane 6. Fennick versus Ma. Cheng and Califas not far behind, and it's very tight here. It could be Ma. And it goes to Cheng in the end, 31.09. Second place was Fennick, 31.10, just a 100th behind him. And then another 100th behind him, Perrin Ma, 31.11. So 09.1.11, the top 3. And then 0.12 for the 4th place. So very little across the first 4 swimmers. The 13-year-old finalist from Cheshunt, Luigi Giambron. Lane 2 from Bishop Stortford, Elliot Hall. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Rufus Kelly. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Niccolo Camalotti. Lane 5 from Costa, Chekin Lau. Lane 6 from Watford, William Rogers. Lane 7 from Hitchin, Mikhail Zarinov. And lane 8 from Cheshunt, Ryan Wimperney. Referee. Thirteen-year-olds underway, lane 4, early advantage. Nicola Camalotti, he swam well today and certainly last Sunday when I was here. It's him just ahead of Kelly, both for Hatfield swimmers, lane 4 and 3. Lane 6 not far behind them, William Rogers of Watford as they come down towards the flags. It's Camalotti moving ahead of the rest of the field, takes the win pretty convincingly, 28.76 for Camalotti. Second place, Rogers, 29.27. Third place on a 29.52, Chekin Lau. Those are your top 3. The 14-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Bushy, Gabriel Burria. Lane 2 from Costa, Zach Fellows. Lane 3 from Watford, William Harris. Lane 4 from Bishop Stortford, Dylan Davenport. Lane 5 from Costa, Luke Bernard. Lane 6 from Hoddesdon, Maxwell Hosier. Lane 7 from Pottersbar, Kabir Patel. And in lane 8 from Pottersbar, Luca Batosa Padin. Referee. Davenport in the centre, slightly ahead of Harris in lane 3. Those two in the lead. Just beside them is Bernard. They go into the turn. Davenport in the lead. Bernard, then Harris. 1, 2, and 3. Back down towards the start end. Davenport just beginning to move away from the rest of the field. He qualified about 4/10 ahead of everybody else, and he's showing why he did that. He can do it again. 26.60 for Davenport. Second place, Bernard, 27.44. And third place was Hosier, 27.90. The 50-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Ware, Billy Sill. Lane 2 from Hatfield, Oliver Baskerville. Lane 3 from Watford, Rafferty May. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Hugo Rubishek Smith. Lane 5 from Hatfield, Daniel Belsey. Lane 6 from Hatfield, Daniel Williams. Lane 7 from Watford, James Gibson. And in lane 8 from Bishop Stortford, McDonald Williams. Referee. Fifteen-year-olds underway. Rubishek Smith in lane 4 for Hatfield, just in the lead. He's been pushed hard by the swimmers to each side of him. Belsey in 5, Rafferty May in lane 3. Rubishek Smith turns first out of the transition phase, still in the lead. The closest to him is Belsey in 5. Rubishek Smith low, looks fairly secure in this. He's underneath the flags. He's got a stroke or two to go. Takes a win, 25.74. Second place, Belsey, 26.14. Third place, Rafferty May, 26.56. The 16 years and over 50-meter freestyle final. In lane 1 from Ware, Atikan Toe. Lane 2 from Costa, Nathaniel Mapley. Lane 3 from Bishop Stortford, Callum Cox. Lane 4 from Bushy, Ashley Coombs. Lane 5 from Pottersbar, Noah Cornwell. Lane 6 from Bishop Stortford, Daniel Chada. Lane 7 from Hatfield, Ben Davison. And in lane 8 from Harpington, James Atwell. Referee. Should be the fastest 2 lengths we see throughout the championships. And it's lane 4 and 5. Coombs in 4, Cornwell in 5. Going up into the first turn. Slight advantage to Coombs for for Bushy. Cornwell in 5, but it's Ashley Coombs doing very well a day, moving away from the rest of the field. Takes the win, 24-12, just under his 24-15 entry time from the heats. Second place, Cornwell, 24.67. And third place, 24.69, was Callum Cox. So that completes the men's 53 finals. We move on to the women's 100-metre individual medley finals. Event 461, the women's 10 and 11-year-olds 100-metre individual medley final in lane 1. From Watford, Isla Cayley. In lane 2 from Bushy, Dorothy Ward. Lane 5 from Watford, Isabel Cowie. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Neve Ives. Lane 5 from Costa, Charlotte Stewart. Lane 6 from Stevenage, Sophie Peterson. Lane 7 from Hoddesdon, Isabel Bradley Smith. And in lane 8 from Watford, Esme Wee. Referee. $100 IM then, as before. Fly back, breast, front crawl in that order. 1:22, Neve Ives qualifying time as the fastest entrant in lane 4. It's lane 5 turning first. Charlotte Stewart of Costa entered on 1:24.69. I say entered, qualified through the heats on a 1:24. So Ives was a couple of seconds quicker, but at the moment it's Charlotte Stewart in the lead. Coming underneath the flags. Stewart has the advantage, then Ives, then Peterson. Actually, it's Peterson, then Ives. Stewart, Peterson, Ives, then Kaylee Cowie, Bradley Smith. Wee and Ward into the breaststroke, and now Neve Ives begins to move away from the rest of the field with the purple hat in lane 4, almost a body length clear now of Charlotte Stewart. Coming up on them both, Isabel Cowie of Watford. Ives turns first. She's taken in 3 metres lead. It's hard to see her losing that over 25 metres of the front crawl. Ives then holding on to a lead, if anything moving away from the rest of the field. Half a length to go. It's very tight for second place. Slight advantage to Stewart from Cowie. As Ives comes in and finishes, takes the win, 1:24.12. Second place goes to Stewart, 1:26.08. Cowie third, 1:26.61. The 12-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Royston, Megan Randall. Lane 2 from Hatfield, Bronwyn Fuller. Lane 3 from Tring, Miabel Bradley. Lane 4 from Cheshunt, Mia Nelson. Lane 5 from Costa, Anna Zapiasetskaya. Lane 6 from Costa, Jasmine Scott. Lane 7 from Cheshunt, Olivia Croft. And in lane 8 from Costa, Natalie Herbst. Referee. Costa swimmer in lane 5 going out early, though beginning to catch her up is Jasmine Scott, also of Costa in lane 6 as they come into the turn, and it's Scott turns first, Zapiasetskaya second, and they come back down towards the start end. Mia Nelson, the fastest qualifier in lane 4, just moving up towards the lead. Orange hatted swimmer in lane 4 underneath the flags. Nelson takes the lead. 2 or 3 strokes left to go before she transitions into backstroke. She flips backwards, transition to breaststroke rather. Underwater phase comes up just about in the lead with Zapiasetskaya beside her. But Nelson now starts to move away. Scott moving up into second place. Fairly tight. Mia Nelson still in the lead. Cheshunt swimmer coming up towards the turn. Turns now, kicks off the wall now. Up into front crawl fairly quickly, not much of an underwater phase, but she's in the lead, that's the key thing. She's been caught by Zapiasetskaya and Scott, but Mia Nelson has done enough, holding off the rest of them. 2 or 3 strokes to go, Mia Nelson takes the win. 1:19.80, Anna Zapiasetskaya second place, 1:20.51, Jasmine Scott third, 1:20.94. Thirteen-year-old finalists. Lane 1 for Potters Bar, Liliana Sawinska. Lane 2 for Watford, Ruby May Chiabara. Lane 3 for Bishop Stortford, Molly Greatbatch. Lane 4 for Hatfield, Alexandra Nerney. Lane 5 for Hoddesdon, Poppy Saunders. Lane 6 for Hoddesdon, Liliana Sapala. Lane 7 for Tring, Eve Butterworth. And in lane 8 for Hatfield, Amelia Costa. Referee. Lane 4 going out fast, Nerney of Hatfield. Purple hat in the centre of the field, long way ahead of everybody else. 2.5, 3 metres as she turns. The other swimmers turn now. Saunders in second for Hoddesdon. In lane 5, now it's in lane 7. Butterworth for Tring with the light blue hat. Meanwhile, Nerney a long way ahead of everybody else. She did qualify at least 7 seconds faster than everybody else. And at the moment, she turns on a 31.62 against a 35.60. So 4 of those seconds she's gained on the first 2 lengths. Nerney in the lead. Tring in second place. Butterworth lane 7. And then in lane 5, we have Poppy Saunders of Hoddesdon in third as Nerney turns back towards home. Up from the underwater phase, just over half a length to go, a long way ahead of the rest of the swimmers. Hugely dominant win, the most dominant win I would say we've had in any of our finals today. She takes a win, 109.58 underneath her entry time, so that's nice to see as well. Second place goes to Poppy Saunders, 117.09. Third place goes to Butterworth, 118.45. The 14-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Potters Bar, Alexandra Shawinska. In lane 2 from Watford, Summer Everson. Lane 3 from Hoddesdon, Molly Seymour. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Hannah Beverstock. Lane 5 from Stevenage, Sophie Stelmach. Lane 6 from Potters Bar, Isabella Savage. Lane 7 from Costa, Isla Black. And in lane 8 from Stevenage, Lucy Peterson. Referee. Not too much to choose between them. Hardly anything. Lane 6, slight advantage. Savage of Potters Bar comes up towards the turn, but turning first was Beverstock of Hatfield in lane 4. Fastest entrant by a couple of seconds, 1:14.92 her entry time. Beverstock in first, Stelmach and in second for Stevenage, and Savage of Potters Bar in third place. Those three a little ahead of the rest of the field. They transition into breaststroke. Up from the underwater phase, Beverstock in the lead. Stelmach second, Savage third. Who else is swimming well on the breaststroke? A good swim for Summer Everson. Lane 2, just moving up towards second place, even catching up first place swimmer Beverstock. But Beverstock still holding on to the lead, goes into the turn, a couple of metres ahead. Everson next, or Savinska rather, next. That was Everson, but back at the front, Beverstock in the lead, long way ahead of everybody else now. Comes underneath the flags. Last stroke, takes the win, 1:12.92. Second place goes to Sophie Stelmach, 1:14.41. Third place, Summer Everson, 1:15.76. The 15-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Royston, B. Grant. Lane 2 from Hatfield, April Mills. Lane 3 from Bishop Stortford, Ella Greatbatch. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Erin Curry. Lane 5 from Hatfield, Summer Boswell. Lane 6 from Costa, Sophie Hollis. Lane 7 from Chesson, Molly Bartup. And in lane 8 from Watford, Angelica Lazicate. Referee. Slight lead for lane 4, Erin Curry of Hatfield. Comes up underneath the flags, comes up to the turn. Curry turns first. Underwater phase up about 7 metres on the backstroke. Curry in the lead, Boswell in 5, Hollis in 6 in second and third positions. They're a little ahead of the rest of the field. The closest to them, April Mills of Hatfield in 2. As Curry turns back towards the turn end, Hollis and Boswell in second and third. They're side by side. Curry, though, moving away from the rest of the field on the breaststroke. Closing up a little bit. Mills, great batch. Boswell, Hollis all vying for second and third. And fourth and fifth. Curry, though, quite a long way in the lead. 3 metres or so into front crawl. Good, strong kick. And she has half a length to go, less than that. Just coming towards the flags, underneath the flags. Last couple of metres, Erin Curry takes the win. It's very tight for second place, but it's another Hatfield swimmer takes second place. And Hollis third on a 1:11.56. Boswell was second, 1:11.36, a winning time. Erin Curry, 1:09.03. The 16 and over finalist in lane 1 from Hatfield, Katie Jeffrey. Lane 2 from Bishop Stortford, Kirsty Neal. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Caitlin Hartley. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Charlotte Williams. Lane 5 from Watford, Amy Borum. Lane 6 from Berkhamsted, Kate Hopper. Lane 7 from Bishop Stortford, Lauren Gore. And lane 8 from Tring, Isabella Dalton. Referee. Last of the IM finals underway then. And pretty close at the moment. Slight advantage perhaps to Katie Jeffrey of Hatfield as they come into the turn. Maybe a little bit behind Caitlin Hartley. Rather Williams in 4. Williams moving into lead now. Second place Jeffrey, both Hatfield swimmers. Moving up into second place now is Amy Borum of Watford. It's pretty tight for second actually. Williams in the lead, Borum in second, Hopper in third. Into breaststroke, it's going pretty quick there, 1:06.49 the heat time for Charlotte Williams as she comes up towards the final turn. Breaststroke into front crawl, a long way ahead of the rest of the field. Borum in second place. Tight for third. Third at the moment is Caitlin Hartley as Williams comes in for the last couple of strokes. 1:05.90. That's good. That's half a second and a bit under her entry time. Second place went to Borum. Amy Borum, that is, 1:08.55. Caitlin Hartley third, 1:09.82. So we're into our last couple of events for this weekend. First one of those is the open final for the 200 fly for our men. So just a straight final for that. And then we'll be into the women's 50 fly, which we have age group finals as well as the championship finals, or final. So event 4, 6, 7 will be next. The men's open 200 meter butterfly final. So the 200 meter butterfly finalists are in lane 1 from Harpenden, Toby Martin. Lane 2 from Watford, Kaylin Bozino. From Potters Bar in lane 3, Jack Barnard. From Hatfield in lane 4, Joshua Ellis. From Costa in lane 5, Kieran Burkitt. From Bishop Stortford in lane 6, Jake Lloyd. From Ware in lane 7, Archie Ran. And from Ware in lane 8, Billy Sill. Referee. So 8 lengths butterfly. Joshua Ellis fastest qualifier from the heats, 2:17.44. Kieran Burkitt, 2:17.75 in 5, just a little bit behind him. But the early leader is lane 3, Jack Barnard of Potters Bar, qualified at 2:19.91. He turns at the 50-meter mark in the lead, 29.72, the only swimmer under the 30-second mark at the first turn. Barnard still in the lead, not far behind him. We've got Bozinu in 2, and then in the centre 2 lanes, Ellis and Burkitt 4 and 5. Moving up towards the halfway point, Barnard still in the lead. Burkitt moving up into second place, just beginning to split slightly, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Barnard turns first, 100-meter mark, 1:04.16. Second is Burkitt, third Bozino. And Barnard looking good here. I did wonder if he'd gone out a bit fast, having qualified a couple of seconds slower, but maybe he's just swimming to get into the final. Looking pretty assured here. He takes a couple of seconds or a second and a half lead into the final length. Barnard in the lead. It's not the final length, it's 3 to go, now 2 to go, 1:39.84, he's in the lead. Burkitt moved up into second place, Ellis in third now. Barnard in the lead, still looking good. The gap he hasn't come down at all over the last 50. He comes underneath the flags at the turn end for the final time. Barnard turns first. It's a race for second and third. Ellis and Burkitt. Barnard looking good. He's beginning to be caught by Ellis in 4, but I think they've left it too late. Ellis is coming back on him. Barnard just holding on to this. The last couple of strokes to go. It's tight, but he gets it right. Very close in the end. Barnard takes the win, 2:16.78. Ellis second, 2:17.06. Burkitt third, 2:18.02. And our final swimmer coming in, Billy Sill of Watford, on a 2:37. So we're into our last event now. If you'd like to clear the pool, please, swimmers. We're into the 50 fly finals then. Age group finals for this. Event 4, 6, 8. That'll be 10 and 11-year-olds finalists first. Event 468, the 10 and 11-year-old finalists. In lane 1 from Hoddesdon, Isabel Bradley Smith. Lane 2 from Ware, Sophie Tom. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Neve Ives. Lane 4 from Costa, Charlotte Stewart. Lane 5 from Costa, Charlotte Douglas. Lane 6 from Watford, Isabel Cowie. Lane 7 from Stevenage, Sophie Peterson. And in lane 8 from Watford, Esme Wee. Referee. Personal 50 fly finals underway. As always, the fastest entrant in the centre of the pool, but it is Charlotte Douglas of Costa in lane 5 going out well. She comes up towards that first turn, almost a body length clear of the other Charlotte from Costa, Charlotte Stewart, and then Neve Ives in third place, swimming for Hatfield. Douglas, though, in the lead. Body length advantage at the moment. Douglas from Stewart from Ives. And Douglas and Stewart vying for the lead here. But let's start again. Charlotte Douglas takes the win. 37.44. Charlotte Stewart in second, 37.57. Neve Ives third, 38.37. 12-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Royston, Megan Randall. Lane 2 from Hertford, Phoebe Hickford. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Bronwyn Fuller. Lane 4 from Costa, Jasmine Scott. Lane 5 from Costa, Anna Zapisets-Kaya. Lane 6 from Tring, Miabel Bradley. Lane 7 from Hitchin, Neve Holland. And in lane 8 from Stevenage, Jasmine Hunt. Referee. Twelve-year-olds underway. No one really in the lead at the moment. It's pretty tight. Slight advantage to lane 5. Zapisets-Kaya of Costa, but the other Costa swimmer, Jasmine Scott, just turning ahead of her. And then a clutch of swimmers turning for third place. Two Costa swimmers then vying for the lead. Scott versus Zapisets-Kaya. Scott has the advantage. Almost a body length clear. Final stroke hits the pads, 34.54 to take the win. Zapisets-Kaya second, 35.44. And Bronwyn Fuller, 36.47 in third place. The 13-year-old finalists in lane 1 from Hatfield, Cassandra Pereira. Lane 2 from Watford, Ruby May Kiaburo. Lane 3 from Hoddesdon, Liliana Sapala. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Verity Fuge. Lane 5 from Hatfield, Alexandra Nerney. Lane 6 from Potters Bar, Valentina Tinirello. Lane 7 from Bushy, Siana Candola. And in lane 8 from Aware, Macy Sill. Referee. Two Hatfields in the middle of the pool going out well, Nerney and Fuge. Nerney in 5, just ahead of Fuge in 4, but little to choose between them. And then it's Liliana Sapala of Hoddesdon in lane 3 in 3rd place. It's tight for 3rd as Fuge just moves into the lead. She's half body length clear, takes the win, finishes pretty good on the stroke there. Fuge takes the win, 30-36. Nerney 2nd, 30-94. Sapala 3rd, 33-13. The 14-year-old finalist from Royston in lane 1, Sophie Williams. Lane 2 for Potters Bar, Isabella Savage. Lane 3 for Hatfield, Amy Witten. Lane 4 for Hatfield, Eva Ives. Lane 5 for Hatfield, Honor Beverstock. Lane 6 for Stevenage, Sophie Stelmach. Lane 7 for Watford, Summer Everson. And in lane 8 for Hertford, Zara Rind. Referee. .14-year-olds underway. Early advantage, Eva Ives, fastest entrant, 32.04 in lane 4 for Hatfield, but there's not much to choose between them. Ives turns just ahead of Witten, both Hatfield swimmers, and on the other side of her is Beverstock, another Hatfield swimmer, 1, 2 and 3. Moving up into 3rd place, it's Potters Bar, Isabella Savage. And into lead is Beverstock. Last stroke gets it pretty much perfect. Beverstock takes the win, 31.82. Ives, 32.23. Witten 3rd, 33.04. The 15-year-old finalists are from Stevenage in lane 1, Tia Gregory. In lane 2 from Hatfield, April Mills. Lane 3 from Hatfield, Summer Boswell. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Erin Curry. Lane 5 from Hatfield, Layla Eurovicius. Lane 6 from Chesson, Isabel Mullings. Lane 7 from Royston, Bea Grant. And in lane 8 from Berkhamsted, Nell Costa. Referee. Curry going out well in lane 4 for Hatfield. Nice underwater phase, comes up first, holding on to first at the moment as she goes into the first and only turn. Curry ahead of the rest of the field, the closest to her, probably Eurovicius and Mullings, 5 and 6. The 3 Hatfield swimmers in the centre of the pool then. Curry then way ahead of the rest of the field. Very dominant final this. Curry takes the win, 30.37 her time. Boswell second, 31.89, and Layla Eurovicius third, 32.33. The 16 and over finalists in lane 1 from Harpenden, Lucinda Stanley. In lane 2 from Costa, Florence Crowley. Lane 3 from Watford, Amy Borum. Lane 4 from Hatfield, Charlotte Williams. Lane 5 from Bishop Stortford, Emma Fields. Lane 6 from Bishop Stortford, Neve James. Lane 7 from Potters Bar, Keely White. And in lane 8 from Berkhamsted, Kate Hopper. Referee. Charlotte Williams, the fastest entrant, 29.57. Lane 4 comes up just in the lead after the underwater phase. Emma Fields of Bishop Stortford with black hat in 5 in second place. Amy Bohr of Watford in third into that turn, the first and only turn. Williams in the lead up from the underwater phase. Long underwater phase for Fields. Fields versus Williams. Williams in the lead, should hold on to this. Last couple of strokes. Williams takes the win. Charlotte Williams, 29 dead. Emma Fields, 29.39, second place. Amy Borum, third, 30.32. So that completes this session and this weekend of counties. Thank you very much to all our swimmers, all our officials and volunteers for helping out and making the event run so smoothly. Wish you all a safe journey home, and I'm sure some of you will be back here next Saturday, and I'll be back next Sunday, so I will see you then. In the meantime, have a good week.